Fast Lawyer. Today we're going to review Journey for Elysium VR, a game that was released on the Steam store October 31st, 2019 by developer Mantis. I bought this game and I tested it out on the Meta Quest 3 using link cable. Journey for Elysium VR is a narrative-driven game that has simple puzzles and platforming. It took me exactly 2 hours to beat the game. I thought overall the game had a casual difficulty, however there are some time portions which some people might find challenging. The game is running on the Unity engine on my RTX 3080. I was getting mostly 90 frames per second, although I did notice a few frame rate drops here and there in between scenes or in between cutscenes. You do have full locomotion along with teleportation available, smooth and snap turning. You can play comfortably seated, although beware there is no in-game height adjustment. You'll have to be sure before you start the game that your height is properly set or you'll be too high or too low. There's also quite a bit of climbing in this game, especially at the end boss where you'll have to climb fast enough in a time fashion in order to clear some of the obstacles. I didn't have difficulty with this portion, but I think some people might. There's also some maze traps where you'll have to figure out how to move within the grids before you get killed from the traps. And obviously it's much easier if you use teleport during these sections, but if you use smooth locomotion, beware, you will have to move very quickly with absolutely no delay in order to get across, and some of these sections require playing your instrument and then crossing very quickly. So you pretty much have to memorize the pass across these trap-filled grids. There's also quite a bit of archery involved, so you'll have to be pretty good with the bow and arrow. It's not difficult if your aim is good. There's also quite a bit of rowing involved, but it's not challenging because it's just getting from point A to point B, so you can row at your own pace. And lastly, there is quite a bit of puzzles involved. Now the puzzles do tend to repeat themselves, which I did not like, and the puzzles themselves are not challenging. Most of the puzzles involve just finding an item, so you'll have a random item to look for, or looking for coins, and you'll usually have to like break jars in order to find them. The other types of puzzles are the block spinning puzzles, where you'll just have to match the puzzle lines in order to open a new area, or the maze puzzles, which I've already mentioned. You also use a lyre or lyre, and you're just basically playing the note that's somewhere, and these are usually part of the platforming sections as well, along with the bow and arrow. However, the main focus of the game is the narrative, so this is indeed a narrative driven game, and you know, it's close to those puzzle action adventure games, although this is more focused on story and adventure over puzzles, because like I said, the puzzles here are just very simple, and maybe there's a little bit too much platforming. And I don't want to get into spoiler territory, but basically, yes, you are dead. That's why you're going through your journey for Elysium. And obviously the gods get involved, and when the gods get involved, as usual, there's some trickery involved as well. But basically you're going through the important moments of your life, and you find out that maybe all is not as you thought it was. And I thought the story was okay, but obviously it's very truncated because, like I said, the game is only 2 hours long. There is a lot of cutscenes and talking. The voiceovers weren't the best, and the writing wasn't always strong. So for me, the story didn't always land, but the game is only $10, so I guess for $10, it's an alright story. And overall, that's really how I feel about the game. I think the game is fine. It's nice. It's good for what it is, which is a budget price narrative driven game, especially now that it's $10. I can give it a positive recommendation. If you keep your expectations in check and keep in mind this game is only $10, then I think you might enjoy it as well if you're into narrative driven experiences and you're up for some light puzzles and some light platforming with some bow and arrow and lyre or lyre music action with some rowing as well. I definitely don't regret my time in Journey for Elysium, even now in 2024. It's got an interesting art style with the mostly black black and white and grayscale with some gold highlights, maybe some blue and orange thrown in there every now and then. And honestly, there's not really that many good narrative driven experiences in VR even now in 2024. So if I have to rate it, I would give it a nice 6.5 out of 10 score. For the budget price, why not? It's not that bad. Some might even call it good. I call it nice. Anyways, I'm Fast Lawyer. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a wonderful day. Goodbye.